Hi, I'm Kristen Amdahl. I'm a creative entrepreneur embracing every aspect of life with artistic intention. Join me as I share the way I live and all the tips and tricks along the way. Allow me to inspire you to do the same. Please like, share, or comment on my videos. I'd love to hear from you. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be first to know when there's something new. In this video I want to show you one of my favorite knitting cast-on stitches, and it's called the knit cast-on. And the reason it's called the knit cast-on is because you're kind of making a knit stitch into a cast-on stitch. You won't need a long tail to start like you do in provisional or long tail cast-on. So what that means is that this is a technique that works really well for buttonholes or anytime you're adding stitches in the middle of a project. We're going to start with a slip knot like we always do. Insert your yarn onto the knitting needle and cinch it closed. Then holding your tail yarn in your left hand with the left hand needle and working with your right needle, we're going to insert our crochet hook into the slip knot like we're going to knit it. Yarn over, pull the loop through, but instead of dropping this stitch to then knit it onto this stitch, we're going to place that new loop on the left hand needle. And did you notice I twisted it before I did? Because we want our stitches to set properly on the needle so that it's in the right position for knitting on the next row. So we're going to insert our knitting needle into the stitch on the left hand needle, yarn over, pull it through. Instead of dropping that stitch off to then knit this onto the right hand needle, we're going to make sure we pick it up from right to left of the front of the loop and slide it onto the left hand needle. We have our slip knot and 2 knitted cast on stitches, so we have a total of 3 stitches now, and we'll do that for a total of 10. Knit cast on is abbreviated KCO, knit cast on, and it's a great way to add stitches in the middle of the work, or it's a little bit looser than a long tail cast on also. So if you want something loose like a back loop cast on but something with a little more of a foundation to it, I think this is a really great technique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more. I use this a lot for lace where I want the cast on to mimic a loose bind off. And there we have 10 knit cast on stitches in worsted weight yarn. Next up, I'll show you what this looks like on fingering weight yarn. So we'll start the same way. We're going to start with a slip knot, and we're not going to need a long tail. We're starting from the beginning. So we'll insert or cinch our yarn onto our needle, holding our tail and needle in our left hand and getting ready like we're going to knit this stitch. We're going to insert our needle from right to left, front to back, and yarn over, pull a loop through, but instead of sliding this one to the right hand needle and dropping this stitch, we're now going to come with our left hand needle working right to left, front to back, and sliding that new loop onto the left hand needle. So the slip knot counts as our first stitch, and that is now our second stitch. So if the pattern called for knit cast on 10 stitches, that would be 1, 2 stitches. So now we'll knit into that one again, but instead of dropping that stitch and sliding this one to the right, we'll move this one to the left. And that is what 10 stitches knit cast on looks like in fingering weight yarn.